Bingo the Naughty Dog by Bradley Juby. Audiobook by Bradley Juby. Sample chapter, Rowdy Randy's. The sound of I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide by ZZ Top, that little old band from Texas, played through Rowdy Randy's Bar and Grill. Boys played pool. The place smelled of beer, barbecue, fajitas, and margaritas. Cowboys and cowgirls danced on the large dance floor. A country band was going to play later that night. It really was like Pleasure Island, only in Texas, and boys didn't literally turn into donkeys. Still wearing what he wore to the presentation, Mark entered the bar just to unwind. Bryce Halford's words still cut like a knife. How did a discussion about fatherhood turn into an insult of Mark's Oklahoma values? And in Texas, of all places, in a crowd of hundreds, and published on all social media platforms. Sitting down at the bar, Mark ordered his favorite Texas brewed beer, a Chisholm Trail lager. Brewed in Fort Worth, it's the only beer he ever drinks. He'll take 6-packs of it back to Oklahoma whenever he visits. Since jalapeno cheddar brats were not on the menu, he told the bartender, "Those brisket nachos look legit. I'll take that, but no guacamole or sour cream, please." "Sounds good, sir," said the bartender. "Oh, and I saw your live stream before work, Mark. That loser called you all hat, no cattle. What a nerd." "I prefer you didn't remind me of that," said a still depressed Mark as he drank his beer. "Sorry, boss. I'll get those nachos out for you." In about 10 minutes, the nachos, Mark's emotional support food that wasn't jalapeno cheddar brats, came to him. It was a tower of chips, Texas-style queso, brisket, hot barbecue sauce, jalapenos, and pico de gallo. It was a lot of food, too. He ordered it as his entree. It was his other comfort food. As Mark enjoyed his tower of chips, melted cheese, smoked cowfish, and vegetables, a familiar face wearing a purple shirt, black jean shorts, not exactly Daisy Dukes, and black cowgirl boots entered the bar. She glowed with her radiance. She intended to be noticed by no one but one. Slowly, she noticed the guy in the white shirt and white cowboy hat lonely at the bar with his brisket nachos and Chisholm Trail lager. Upon noticing her, she walked as the crow flies toward the man sitting down. She knew him quite well. Quietly, she tapped him on the shoulder and softly called out, "Mark." Startled, Mark turned around and noticed the beautiful woman who tapped him on the shoulder. He knew her face all too well. Josephine Victoria Sheridan. "Hey, Mark, how are you?" "What are you doing here? I thought you were at work back in the city." "I was visiting family in San Antonio for the weekend and don't go back to work until next week. So I decided to see your discussion at TCU. I also met my friend Carly Miller for breakfast. We've been besties since high school and she went to TCU for her master's." "Phenomenal," exclaimed Mark. "You're living the dream, Josie." "Hardly. Just reconnecting with old friends. Anyway, that Bryce Halford was a real asshole." "No shit, Josie, excuse my French," Mark exclaimed after taking a swig of beer. "And he's running to be my congressman? Give me a break." "Yeah, he's young and stupid," Josie admonished. "But that's not the Mark Andrew Bishop I know. If it makes you feel better, that loser doesn't really even live in the district." "Said what?" Josie further explained. "He only has an address on the Edmond-Arcadia line that he keeps for election purposes. His daddy must have bought it for him. But he lives in Southlake, and his daddy is a software analyst for Lucix Technologies. He has no connection to the cattle industry and no Oklahoma roots." "And I'm the cosplay cowboy?" "But yeah, he's a fraud and he knows it, so don't get too bent out of shape about it." "I know you all too well," she said as she began to lean on him. "Thank you, Josie. Can I buy you a drink?" "Come to think of it, I'd like to try Chisholm Trail lager," she answered. "I know how fond of those you are." "Sir," summoned Mark to the bartender, "can I get 2 Chisholm Trails? One for me and one for this lovely lady right here." "Coming right up," he answered. "And are you hungry?" "A little, not too much," Josie answered. "I am fond of their pulled pork mac and cheese." The bartender delivered the beers to the 2 lovebirds. "And put in some pulled pork mac and cheese for this pretty lady." He turned to Josie with a gleam in his eye. He said, "My treat, sweet treat." "Mark, You are so affectionate and hospitable, said Josie. Where did you get it from? My stepdad Ken taught me to entertain a guest when a guest is present. I enjoy entertaining you, Josie. And I love the words you spoke about him today, Josie replied with sweetness. He truly stepped up for you. You could have been without a father and gone down the path so many others did, but your mom and stepdad blessed the world with you. And I loved how you quoted me about your mom. She raised an angel, Josie. Aw, Josie blushed. Maybe not an angel per se, but she loved me. Anyway, may I ask something of you? Ask away. Dance with me, Rough Rider. Next slow song. A mere few seconds later, the song It Just Comes Natural by Texas's own George Strait began to play. Perfect song, Josie. Some kings wear crowns, one wears a cowboy hat. Let's hit the floor. The two embraced and danced with sweetness in their souls. Mark and Josie, two wranglers in love. And I love you. It just comes natural. This is how life was meant to be lived, Mark said to his beloved. Accept no substitutes, Josie replied. And I love you. It just comes natural. It's a shame that such sweetness only lasted so short, but the shenanigans did not end there. So how's KSBN? They keeping you busy? Yeah, Josie awkwardly answered, making no mention of Blake John's harassment. I had to cover quite a weird story from around the Edmond area. So apparently, there's this vigilante wearing a dog mask who's beating people up, leaving them naked and soaked in dog urine. Ew. Dog urine? Asked a cringing Mark. Yes, dog urine. He leaves them somewhere around the Waterloo Road area. And he leaves a note to his victims that says, "You've been boned by Bingo the Naughty Dog." Bingo the Naughty Dog, pondered Mark. He then began to chuckle. He must be one pugnacious puppy. I do find it bizarre, but why does he do it? Asked Josie. More importantly, how do I not become his next victim? Why don't you ask him? Mark answered with another question. But how? Maybe be a wee bit cautious when venturing north of Memorial Road, warned Mark. I will, Mark. I will. With to-go boxes and 6 packs of Chisholm Trail Lager in their hands, the two stepped outside for some fresh October Texas air. It was a beautiful night in the Southwest. Mark would pull out his phone and order an Uber to take him to his downtown hotel. You Ubering? Asked Josie. Why not? I drank 2 beers. Oh, I understand. You're a good man, Mark. I just don't want to be the asshole that leaves another child without a parent, or make a parent bury a child. I know that pain all too well. The Uber, a blue Ford Focus driven by Justin, a bearded and tattooed veteran, pulled up. One more thing. How would you feel about having a Saturday dinner with my folks down in Marlow sometime down the road? Give me a Saturday and I'll see, she answered. But one more thing. Kiss me. My pleasure. The two kissed quickly but passionately before Mark left for the hotel, and the Uber for Josie was right behind it. Since Mark was pretty much going back the next morning, his morning routine was similar to the last one, only he slept in and did not hit I-35 until after rush hour. He didn't have anywhere to be. But as he got ready for the next day, he looked more into Bryce Halford's background. At that point, Mark was going to have to leave consequences in the paws of a naughty dog. He then texted Wyatt and Kip. Want to do a job Wednesday? They both replied, Fuck yeah, brother. If you would like to read more, Bingo the Naughty Dog is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in paperback, hardcover, and ebook formats. Join the dog fight. Woof!